Vietnamese man Tong Fufu buried more than 20,000 babies by himself. Children are the continuation of love and life in a family. With children, the life between husband and wife can become complete. After being upgraded as parents, everyone truly felt what responsibility is. In fact, we're all growing up with our children, but sometimes you'll find that children are a sweet burden. Their existence puts parents under too much pressure. People's living conditions are constantly improving, and the consumption level is getting higher and higher. A child needs to spend countless energy and financial resources from birth to raising an adult. Some children are abandoned by their parents because of illness after they're born. Fortunately, there are many welfare institutions and caring people in this society. Every life should be in awe. There are some young women who are impulsive in their feelings. At the beginning, the love died alive. Maybe after giving birth to the child, the relationship broke down, and he did not have the ability to raise the child by himself. The final choice is to give the child away or discard it at will. Many families still have the idea of valuing sons over daughters, which makes women suffer mental and physical abuse. Abortion is no longer a rare thing. If a child has a congenital illness, after discussing with his family, he can choose abortion for the child's future. But even so, it still feels very sad. This heartwarming story began more than a decade ago when a poor Vietnamese construction worker who had little to his name invested his own money into building a cemetery fully dedicated to aborted babies back in 2001. Let's start this heartwarming story with you. But before we start, don't forget to hit the like button and also subscribe to our channel to get some interesting stuff. There was a construction worker in Vietnam in 2021. He did not have a superior family background or rich assets, but he became the father of 100 children and buried 20,000 babies with his own hands. He dares to face life and will do his best to deal with it properly. And if he persists for 20 years, he is Tong Fufu. Tong Fufu is a native Vietnamese. His parents are ordinary farmers, so his family environment is not rich. Tong Fufu was very kind when he was a child and often rescued some stray animals. After going to school, he dropped out of school with mediocre grades. In order to survive, he joined many young people in the industry. Because he has no culture and became a construction worker, although he did some hard work, the money he earned from his skills made him feel very practical. When he reached the age of marriage, he and his wife met under the introduction of a friend. The two came from similar backgrounds. During the interaction, they found that each other was a pragmatic person, so they started a family. Tong Fufu and his wife helped each other in their lives and supported each other's work. Although life was a bit difficult, the two were particularly satisfied. In 2011, his wife became pregnant, which made Tong Fufu particularly happy. In the process of accompanying his wife to the hospital for an obstetric examination, he discovered a strange phenomenon. At that time, there were many pregnant women in the obstetrics and gynecology department. When they held their stomachs for examination, they did not do some simple B ultrasounds and children's health screening like their wives, but went to another room. He was a little curious at the time, so he waited for his wife. He observed the pregnant women in the corridor. At that time, he found that some pregnant women came out after tens of minutes after entering the house. At this time, their protruding abdomen was flat, and there was no sign of pregnancy. He felt particularly curious at the time, but because he was a male, it was not easy to ask questions, so he just watched. When his wife came out, he told each other his doubts. At this time, his wife told him that, in fact, these pregnant women were not here for a checkup, but for the abortion. Some choose to have a miscarriage because they don't want a girl, and some choose to have a miscarriage because the couple has a broken relationship and don't want children anymore. At this time, the child is born and cannot survive and will be treated as medical waste at the will, and the final result will be incinerated. Tong Fufu was particularly sad when he heard this. In his opinion, every life is precious. How innocent these children are. Before they came to this world to take a look, they were so mercilessly strangled. At that time, out of compassion, he decided to bury these innocent lives. People have some traditional ideas in their hearts, and it's become a custom to go to the land for security after a person's death. So he talked with the doctor of the abortion department. He and the doctor expressed his thoughts that he wanted to take these foreign babies away and then bury them. These babies were originally abandoned by their parents. Tong Fufu's doing so made the doctor feel particularly gratified, so he agreed. Whenever there's an operation with a miscarriage, the doctor will take good care of the fetus, and after get off work, he tells Tong Fufu hospital to pick up the baby. Day after day, Tong Fufu persisted in this way for more than 20 years. He would scrub the baby's whole body and then buy a small coffin for it. Of course, he paid for the money himself. Later, he found a barren mountain, buried these children here, and erected small stone tablets for them. His wife was very supportive of his approach. The two of them used their savings they had accumulated over the years to buy a small piece of land on the mountain, which became a cemetery for these babies. With the increase in the number of babies, Tong Fufu also felt the financial pressure, so in his spare time he'd make some simple tombstones and coffins, which saved a lot of money. In the beginning, the practice of Tong Fufu and his wife aroused the curiosity of many people. They all felt that the practice of the couple was a bit redundant. However, Tong Fufu never cared about the evaluation of the outside world. He just wanted to have a clear conscience. Gradually, what he did moved the caring people in the society, and everyone also donated money and materials to him, which brought a lot of help to Tong Fufu. Later, some people approached Tong Fufu and asked for his help. Most of these women were emotionally injured and had no choice but to shed their children. At this time, Tong Fufu will give them some financial help. If these people are willing to give birth to their children, Tong Fufu will also bring the children back to raise them. One day, Tong decided that it wasn't enough to just bury aborted babies and took his selfless endeavor to the next level. He wanted to save the children before they were aborted and give them a chance at life. If the mother did not want to have the baby, then Tong would offer to raise it himself. He tries to persuade these ladies, many of whom are in their teens, not to make the decisions they may regret for the rest of their lives. He offers to love and care for their babies and shall then one day want their babies back. They would only need to say the word. Tong has been able to save hundreds of babies from abortion since embarking on this special journey. Many of them are being raised at his orphanage, which is located in his hometown. Over time, there are more and more children in Tong Fufu's family. He will help the children to record the mother's information, and he can take the children away at any time if he wants to. In this way, he and his wife have raised more than 100 children. They're the parents of these children and their saviors. Life is only a few decades. Life is fragile. We have no right to blame others' lives, but everyone should respect every life. When you choose to bring him into the society, you're responsible for him. Tong Fufu is particularly great. He has no knowledge, but he's devoted himself to public welfare for more than 20 years. He does not seek fame or rewards, but also seeks no regrets. There are many soul ferrymen in real life, and Tong Fufu is one of them. He's saved countless lives. It can be said to be infinite merit. He gave these little lives the opportunity to rebirth. His kindness is really admirable. Here, I also want to warn the majority of women that they must love themselves, do not act impulsively in relationships, and protect themselves is responsible for life. Tong says that he's now very happy to see that the abortion rate has gone down significantly. There's no denying that Tong deserves to be called a true hero. It's also unknown how many more lives have been saved thanks to his efforts. That's all for today's story. Please don't forget to subscribe to our channel and share this video with your friends.